July 26th will of course be Zayas versus Jorge Garcia Perez for the vacant WBO Super Welterweight title. Now, of course, the reason why it's vacant is simple. Zayas was the mandatory, I do believe. Fondor elected to fight Tim Tszyu a second time over defending the title, so it's vacant now. Now, of course, this will be a very good fight because you have the undefeated Zayas, young, hungry, obviously super young by the way. He's 22, so he's in the running for being. I think if he wins, I think he's the youngest champion currently, because the title belongs to Brian Norman Jr. and I think he's only like 25, right? Zayas would easily beat that, and of course you have the rugged veteran in Jorge Perez. Now, of course, he's not old himself, but he's been around. He has 4 losses, but most of those fights, at least 3 of his losses, you can make very good arguments that he should have been the winner instead. So in reality, his record probably should be something like 36-1, but it doesn't matter. In his last fight, he finally got the nod in the fight against the considered boogeyman of the division, Charles Conwell, and that won him a shot at the title. Obviously, both are some pretty high output. Okay, maybe not high output for Zayas, right? But they throw quite a bit of punches, right? But besides that, let's get on with Perez. Jorge Garcia Perez is 33-4, 26 wins by way of knockout. And of course, once again, he is coming off of the split decision win to Charles Conwell. Obviously, he is unfortunately usually on the short end of the stick in terms of, split decisions. Matter of fact, the only split decisions he had, he lost them. Well, up until the Charles Conwell fight, he lost all the split decisions that he got until now. So obviously, that's good. You know, a chip on his shoulder. Obviously, constantly always doing enough to be considered the winner to the people's eyes, but not enough in the judges. Of course, the reason is probably because he's not backed by a huge promoter, even though I do believe he's in a technically co-promotion with Zanfer Promotions and Golden Boy, so, you know, something. But some of his best wins, of course, come a lot. Matter of fact, he has a lot of good wins. Obviously, 20-3, Kudratio Abdulkakarov, sorry maybe for butchering his name, Elias Isaudi, Rourke Snap, obviously the undefeated Angel Cruz Johnson, undefeated Hector Andres Reyes, 21-0, knockout win, and some other ones. Obviously, he has fought his fair share of undefeated opponents, and he's won a lot of it. Now, obviously, not most of them. Obviously, his losses come by Josue Abando, 15-19-1, split decision loss, obviously. Abraham Juarez Ramirez, split decision again, 14-3. The one that probably is not the most, I guess you could say, close loss was the Carlos Ocampo fight, where he lost 100-90. Yeah, even if they're trying to rob you, they usually give you like a round or two. And his latest loss, that being the 11-0 Itaundi Michael William, 11-0, split decision once again. Obviously, like I said, many people believe he probably should not have 4 losses. He should probably at least only have 1, right? But he is fighting an undefeated fighter once again, that being Zayas, 21-0, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is coming off of the 9th round stoppage victory against Slava Spammer. And he actually had some pretty good people on his record. So obviously that 20-0 record is not just for show, obviously. Damian Sosa, unanimous decision win. Of course, the former world champion, although much older, Patrick Teixeira. And overall, not that bad in terms of resume. Although not as good as Perez is, actually. Matter of fact, Spomer, Sosa, Teixeira, obviously Ronald Cruz as well, you could say. All pretty good wins. But the best win has to go to Charles Conwell. Conwell obviously is the best fighter in both of their resumes, and Perez beat him. He was considered the boogeyman. He's fought his fair share of undefeated opponents, had to work hard to get to where he was, and he beat him. Obviously, it looked weird for Charles Conwell. It didn't look like the typical Conwell fight. But Perez is not your typical opponent. He's very sneaky. He's very awkward. He can hit you in basically any position that he's in, kind of like a discount Navarrete. I don't want to say discount, but it's a Navarrete light. You know, you think he's out of position? Nope, he hits you with a shot, and it's a clean shot too. He has pretty good defense. Obviously, not untouchable because no one is, but he has some decently good defense against a very good opponent in Conwell. Not to mention, Conwell doesn't fight an exact replica fight of Xander Zayas, but he fights somewhat similarly. Of course, Conwell beats him in output, but overall, forward fighter, good movement, quick counters, good body shots. Overall, Perez is coming off of a opponent much similar to Xander Zayas, as opposed to Zayas. Zayas is not fighting someone near Perez, but then again, we have to say what's real. No one's like Perez. Perez is 1-1. He is long, lanky. He has sneaky body shots, which probably helped him in the fight. Because it's those body punches you think, oh, I'm protecting my body. Nope. He goes around the guard and he hits you. So now, of course, we gave a lot of praise for Perez. But what about Zayas? Zayas is quick. He is dumb quick. He has good defense as well. He's quick. Most of the time, opponents cannot land a very good punch on him. He has good body work. He's quick. But the difference between the other two is that in terms of countering ability, you would have to give that to Conwell. Zayas has his good fair share of counters, but not as good as Conwell. Now, of course, I don't like to compare fighters, obviously, because everyone's different. But Zayas has his work cut out for him. Zayas' defense, although good, is not great, and it heavily relies on him having the energy to move, right? He mostly defends by just straight up making them miss, which is obviously a very good defense. But with Perez's sneaky body shots, it's safe to assume Zayas will not be as quick as he once was in the early stages of the fight. So what I'm trying to say is that if the judges do not rob Perez in this fight, which is obviously a very much possible thing considering people believe he's been robbed 3 times. He's the Deverenchenko of super welterweight. But Perez's sneaky body shots, his ability to land at basically whatever position he's in, sneaky body shots, quick himself, great combinations. I think he will slowly overwhelm Zayas like he did Conwell. It's those body shots. It's those things that you don't account for because you're looking at the fight and you don't think they land, right? You don't think they land because you think, oh, hit his elbow. Nope. You look at the replay. Oh no, that dude landed cleanly. But Zayas is obviously a young, hungry lion at 22. He has great body work. He's quick. He's explosive. But he has not fought anyone near Perez, nor has he had the diverse, undefeated technical records of Conwell. So it's safe to assume Perez, as long as he stays himself, should get the victory. Those sneaky body shots, those quick combinations, the overall awkwardness of his fighting style will probably give Xander Zayas a bit of a problem. Now, of course, I'm not saying he's going to absolutely whoop Zayas, because I think it's going to be a close fight. But give me Jorge Garcia Perez by unanimous decision, 8-4. I think it's a close fight for the first 7-8 rounds. But in the last 4 rounds, championship rounds, I think Perez pulls it out using his, I guess you could say, punches in the bank, aka the body shots, to get himself the victory. But anyways, who do you guys have winning this championship fight? Xander Zayas, if you're picking him, I don't blame you. He's quick. He has been shown as a real problem in the division. Obviously, being in some of his fights, you could say even a damn near untouchable. But then you also have on the other side a guy who is finally getting his shot, which many people believe he probably should have gotten a long time ago. The awkward guy, the guy with the chip on his shoulder, the other guy, no one even believed he should even be in this position by now, yet he is, and he is looking to prove people wrong once again. Very interesting matchup, very close fight. I don't know what the odds are, but if it isn't like a minus 200, minus 125 or something like that, then it's wrong, right? But besides that, hope you enjoyed this video. Who do you guys have? But anyways, who do you guys have winning? Leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.